Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. And today I thought I'd read another entry because I'm bored and have quite literally nothing to do. The internet is down for the day, so I'm recording this off of a hotspot currently on my phone. Anyway, this entry is from December 30th of 2024. It seems about half of my family is caught up with influenza A, so I've been in the basement all day today. I've played video games for about 10 hours and got bored, so now I'm watching Bruce Lee's movie since Netflix won't work on the downstairs TV. Bruce Lee and his movies are pretty good. I like the faces he makes. Also, the dubbing is hilarious, and I highly recommend watching one. It seems the one I'm watching is more of a documentary on him. I might swap out the DVD for another one of his films in a bit. I haven't swapped the DVD out. I'm too invested. The music is also funky. Seeing the compilations of all of his works in a single movie is very enjoyable. Man, Bruce Lee is such a cool and relatable guy. He's awkward and funny, a part of me that I like to express a lot. He also doesn't drink, which is something I also do. It is unfortunate to have him die so young. I remember a long time ago, I had a friend pass away. It wasn't until I saw him in his casket that I broke down into tears. I hope he's doing okay. This music is so good for a documentary. The documentary is over, and I can say without a doubt that Bruce Lee is a legend. And that was the movie I was watching. It was Bruce Lee, the Legend, where it would go over his life. I've watched a couple of Bruce Lee's movies. I haven't watched all of them. And I bought a collection that had about 4 out of the 5 movies in it. And that's where I got that from. And I will say that those Bruce Lee movies are very cool. It's a little bit like a time in the bottle because whenever they introduce certain characters, the clothing they wear is like completely different. But not only that, it's a cultural difference because I'm from America. I'm not from China. So getting to see Kung Fu and all the other types of martial arts in the movies is really cool. And I like how Bruce Lee portrays a character that comes into this new world and there is some evil that he must defeat. And it's due to some sort of corruption or power-hungry people. I also think that Bruce Lee is a really genuine person. When you watch his movies, a lot of his actions are very goofy, and I feel like that's just part of him expressing himself. One of my favorite things that I have seen him do in a movie is when he wags his finger and shakes his head to be like, no, you're not doing this. He's like... Another thing is Bruce Lee's physique. I personally would like to work towards some sort of physique like the one he has in his movies, albeit I am probably approaching that age where I should be doing that if I want to achieve it. And I might miss my window before I start, actually getting old. I feel old at times, but I'm not actually old in, nowadays terms, being only 22. But I do care for my fitness and my health, and so I do try to work out every once in a while. It would just be, a dream body to have would be something like Bruce Lee, where he's got these like really well-toned body. He's not like super bulky or anything. He's more of like a lean fit. I find Bruce Lee to be inspiring to help me, want to work out. I feel that if I got done finishing one of his movies, I would be very inclined to work out and feel a sense of pride within myself that I'm making myself better and doing the right thing. And working out, I've always encouraged working out because working out really does help people make themselves feel more happy due to just the chemical reactions that happen in your head with the serotonin increase. And it does help people get out of that boredom slump, because if you're bored and you have nothing to do, you might as well work out because then you feel like you accomplished something. And you also get the feeling of, being a lot happier. Anyway, I just wanted to show my love and appreciation for Bruce Lee and all that he has done in the movie industry and martial arts industry. I do have a drawing of him that'll pop up later. In fact, actually, I might just show it now since we're on the topic of Bruce Lee. I drew this one up, and at first I didn't know what to really draw, but then eventually I was like, the face I gave this person looks like Bruce Lee, so I'm just gonna call it Bruce Lee now. Completely disregard the hair, but the body shape and everything is heavily inspired by Bruce Lee once I kind of had it in my head that I'm going to draw Bruce Lee. And this drawing is from January 10th of 2025. And it looks like this. As you can see, Bruce Lee's standing there with a pose wearing, only like these like spandex tights on, which I think is funny. And then there's the evil villain, if you will, looking at him in fear. But yeah, it's like once I got that face down and I started to work on the body, I was like, oh, you know what? I could do Bruce Lee. And so I decided to do that. I think the folding on the clothes down at the waist are a lot better. And I think my body shape and the form of the body and the way that it's made is actually a lot better than my prior drawings. I took quite a while to pay attention to all the different muscles and areas in the body, because one of the spots that I feel like a lot of people forget is the pelvis when they're drawing, because they think, oh, it's the abs and then it's straight to like the legs and crotch, where that's not the case. We have this great amount of space in between those two that is our like waistline and pelvis. And so that is something that I focused on heavily. Proportionally, one of the arms looks a little bit smaller than the other, and I really tried to work with that and I couldn't really get it down, but I think the practice nonetheless on those areas is well worth it. Another part was also the legs. I wanted to make sure that the legs and the entire pose of the body made sense and it wasn't illogical for the body to be positioned the way it was. With that being said, I'm just going to continue on with my day. I really don't have much to do since the internet's out. Hopefully it'll come back. I have no clue. And I think, if anything, I have one more Bruce Lee movie that I need to watch, so maybe I can knock that one out today if the internet doesn't come back, and it's Bruce Lee, A Chinese Connection. The one in my collection that I don't have is Tower of Death, which surprisingly is a movie that Bruce Lee started to make, only made about a third of it, and then he stopped. Years later, he then died, but people found the film and wanted to finish it in honor of Bruce Lee, and so they had to get like a bunch of lookalikes. So it was very interesting to learn about that, but that's the one that's missing from my collection. And there's obviously a couple others that weren't in that set of movies. With that being said, I hope you guys have a good day. Please make sure to look both ways before you cross the street, buckle your seatbelt, drive safely if you're going anywhere, especially if you live up north and there's ice and whatnot. Or even if it's raining, make sure you're driving a reasonable speed limit. Don't be looking at your phone. Please use your blinkers. I don't know why I'm using driving stuff today, but just it's always a good reminder. All right, peace.